All right. Let's see who Hashanov's going to play in the final. All right, what's going on? Welcome. We've got to do another doubleheader because of the timings of these matches. Shelton is taking on Fritz. Blockbuster matchup. Winner's going to take on Hashanov, who just beat Zverev in match point 7. By the way, 2 matches in already today. Both of match points have been saved in each of those matches. We're also watching Osaka play Towson. All right. Beating Madison Keys don't mean too much. What are you talking about? She won a Grand Slam. Of course it means much. That's a big win. All right. Didn't Towson win 2 tournaments this year already? She won Auckland, but I can't think of... Did she win 2 tournaments? Maybe. She made the final of a 1,000 this year as well. All right. I bet I would have a... It would have meant a lot to Sabalenka at the Australian Open. I bet it would have... What do you mean? Okay. Towson to serve. She's back on serve here, 3-2. We've got Fritz and Shelton. They've only played the one time, which was back in Indian Wells a couple of years ago. And Fritz got the win, but Shelton's a lot better than he was then. And it's going to be interesting. This is like a bat, like, and again, I don't know the stat because I can't friggin' find it, but I think it's the first time in at least, I'm going to say 15 years, that we've got 2 American men in the top 10 playing each other. I don't know when the last time was. I could guess. But I think it's the first time in at least 15 years, at least, that 2 American top 10 players on the men's side are playing each other. Because on the women's side, of course, we get that a lot because Gauff, lately we've had like Gauff, Pegula, Keys, Collins, Navarro, Anisimova. But on the men's side, it hasn't happened for a long time. I'm going to say at least 15 years, if not more. And if I had to guess, it would be back either when it was like Marty Fish and Andy Roddick. Maybe they played as top 10 players against each other. Or you might have to go further back to like James Blake and Andy Roddick. Or Andre Agassi. Like you'd have to go back to the mid-2000s possibly. So I'm guessing it was probably Fish Roddick. Because remember, Agassi retired in 2006 and Roddick retired in 2012. So Fish Roddick sounds about, because Marty Fish was in the top 10 for a stint. In fact, let me have a look. I could probably figure this out. Because since 2010-ish, America's had a couple of top 10 players on the men's side. We knew that Fritz Tiafoe hadn't played as top 10 players. They had played, but not as top 10. Tiafoe's been top 10. Fritz, Sock, Isner, they didn't play as top 10 players recently in the last few years. Other than that, Isner was top 10. Andy was top 10. I don't know how many American men were top 10 in the mid-2000s. I don't think... 2010, sorry. Not many. Not many, I don't think. All right, 15:30 here. Osaka a chance to get the break. And lead again. She hits a volley. Up goes a lob by Towson. Smash from Osaka goes long. 30-all. 30-all. All right, let me have a look here. So Andy Roddick versus the top 10. Let me have a look. All right, so Andy... Okay, so the last time Roddick... So Roddick and Blake were both in the top 10 in 2006 at Queen's Club in the semis, and it was 5 versus 7. So that was the last time... so apparently Andy Roddick didn't play Marty Fish both in the top 10. They never played. So Blake Roddick, 2006 was could have been the last time. Let me check what Agassi was, because Agassi obviously was top 10 in 2006 as well. Agassi was top 10 before that. So that might be the answer. Unless Blake was top 10 after that. I'm trying to think who else was top 10 in who else was in the top 10? Who else was in the top 10 at that time? As Osaka gets the break, 4-2. Yeah, Marty Fish and Andy Roddick played in Cincinnati, but Fish wasn't number 10. Wasn't in the top 10, so that's what we're getting at. So Blake never played... Wait, hang on, what? Oh, no, hang on. Blake... Okay, so Blake... Yeah, Blake's only ever top 10 match as a top 10 player was against Roddick in that match I mentioned. So as far as I know, unless we can think of something... It's nearly been 20 years since two top 10 American males have played against each other. 2006 Queen's Club seems to be the last time. Yeah, I don't know about Isner, though. I don't think Isner played a top 10 male from America. Because there hasn't been that many. You know, it's been a very rare... You know, you could probably, again, we could probably name all the players that made the top 10 from America since 2005. 15-all. So, yeah, Isner never played an American top 10 man as a top 10 player. He played top 10 Americans, but not as a top 10 himself. All right, 15:30. Let's have a look at Marty Fish. Did Marty Fish play any top 10 Americans as a top 10? No, Marty Fish only played Novak Djokovic. So no, he only played Djokovic, Federer, Andy Murray, Tsonga. Yeah, so Marty Fish never played an American as a top 10 himself. As Osaka double faults and we get to 15:40. And let's talk about Taylor Fritz. So Fritz... Yeah, and this is the first time Fritz is playing against a top 10 American in his career as a top 10 player himself. So again, it must be that 2006 match. It's the last match that happened 20 years ago. As Osaka comes to the net and puts it away, 30-40. So 19 years ago, Sam Querrey was never top 10. He was sort of top 16, I think, but he was never top 10. Top 20, right? He was top 20? Yeah, he was number 11. This close. He was number 11. So, yeah. So, the last time, chat, that we witnessed two American men in the top 10 play each other was back in 2006. Unless somebody comes up with some other answer. 30-40. There's a bit of forehand from Osaka. That's good to the slice of Townsend. Osaka forehand again is a winner. It's deuce. So, I think, what am I getting at? Well, it just kind of shows that how good American tennis and men's tennis is getting. If we're getting a Masters 1000 semi-final between two top 10 American men for the first time in 20 years, it means that American tennis on the men's side is not doing it badly. It wasn't great for a while, but it's starting to pick up. You know, it's starting to pick up. Obviously, Tommy Paul, you got Francis Tiafoe just outside the top 10, as well as these guys. But American tennis for the men is starting to is definitely improving. if you've got two top 10 players playing each other for the first time in 20 years. It's definitely getting better. All right. Osaka to get to 5-2. We default second serve. American men's tennis is back. It's definitely coming back. It's having a definite resurgence with these younger guys. As Osaka on that deuce. And I mean, if I look at the rankings for the Americans on the men's side, you've got Tiafoe at 14, Tommy Paul at 16. You got Nakashima at 31. You got Mickelson at 33. Korda's at 45, despite being injured. Lerner Tien is at 55. Giron at 63. Opelka at 73. Quinn's at 82. McDonald at 95. And Brooksby is 101. So it's and Kovacevic is 66. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting better. But more importantly, there's 4 men in the top 10 and in the top 20 that are from America. That's the more important situation. Is that you've got Paul, Tiafoe, Fritz, and Shelton, top 10 guys, the top 20 guys, sorry, and all of them have been in the top 10 in the last year or a couple of years. But Fritz is the king of American tennis for the men. He is the number one. He's the top dog. He's been the top dog for a while. I think he's been the number one American for a while. He dropped out of the top 10 for a second, and somebody, I think maybe Tiafoe overtook him, but and I think also Shelton maybe was number 11 when he was number 12 for a couple of weeks, but in the last 12 months, and for the best part of the last probably 3 years, it's all been Fritz has been the top dog. I disagree. Okay, then tell me who has been the best American player over the last 4 years, if not Fritz, on the men's side. If you disagree, give me your answer, please. Advantage Osaka. Tommy Paul was the number one American for a while there, for a couple of weeks too, yeah. Yeah, they overtook him for a second, but yeah. All right, advantage Osaka as the return goes to the backhand of Osaka. 4 now from Towson. He's a winner, back to deuce. All right, deuce. I disagree. I agree with the past 4 years. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying the best of all time. I'm saying in the 2020s. Like over the last 5 years. I think Paul's been better in the last year. I don't agree with that. I mean, Paul hasn't done as much as Fritz has done. Fritz has made semis of Wimbledon, quarterfinal of US. I think. By the way, I think it's starting to rain in Toronto. I think Fritz has been better than Paul in the last 12 months. Tommy's been better on clay, though. So, I don't know. I mean, Fritz disappeared on the clay. All right, advantage Towson. As Osaka serves an ace, we're back to deuce. And Boko was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep. All right, deuce. By the way, Chad, it's interesting. Bradley says US was spoiled for a long time with McEnroe, Connors, Agassi, Sampras. I mean, that's just you're just scratching the surface with how many players we could name, right? But Chad, what happened? Let's throw out some theories. What happened in the 2000s? And besides Sampras and Agassi retiring, what happened? Let's say in the year 2000, from 2000 onwards, what happened that Americans men's tennis has not been as successful? What has been the difference? There's probably no one answer. It's probably multiple things, right? But what do you think is one of the causes that American tennis hasn't been as good on the men's side for the best part of, for the most, pretty much 25 years? Since Agassi and Sampras departed, what happened? Big three. Okay, that's a great answer, right? The big three happened, right? Okay. The big three, definitely a huge factor. A massive factor, for sure. That's definitely one of the things. Back to Deuce here. Europeans dominant. Yeah, that's it. Like that's sort of where I'm thinking too. Like, did other sports become more lucrative for Americans to play? Like, was it like maybe tennis in like in the 80s and 90s was like you got paid better for playing tennis than you did for other sports. So like playing basketball or playing golf or playing, whatever else, football wasn't like the money wasn't there. So it's like, I'm going to go play tennis instead because I could probably make a better shot at it. But then in the 90s, with mainly with Michael Jordan popularizing basketball, making it international and all that stuff, a lot of money comes into NBA, maybe more people, especially because if you look at these guys are both 6'4", 6'5", right? Both of these guys could be point guards, height-wise for NBA teams, right? Or even, whatever, I don't know what other positions they could play. But do you think it's like, people are choosing basketball over tennis because basketball got more popular, maybe? Or other sports became more popular and it became more of a choice that, I don't know, maybe that's something to consider too. Anyways, they've left the court because it's raining or it's, sprinkling. Osaka gets broken. So we're back on serve, 4-3. See, I don't know. I think the big three is the big one. Right? That's the big answer. The big three stopped a lot of players from winning. But the thing is, if we break down the big three's influence on tennis, and it stopped Andy Roddick from winning slams, but did the big three stop John Isner from winning multiple slams? Maybe he might have won one or two, but were they the reason he didn't win? Were they the reason that Marty Fish didn't win a slam? Because if you think about, it would be different if America was, dominating up until they played the big three. But even then, Americans, there's been very, very little American influence on the men's side. Even, during the big three era, but also just in general. Even now. We're talking about how good it's now because, a group of guys are starting to come up. But, is it a coincidence that it's because the big three have retired? Because Fritz was still playing in 2018, 2019, and the big three was still very much around. Again, I think it's one of the big factors, but if the big three was stopping Americans from winning tennis, wouldn't the Americans still be a lot of good Americans to playing tennis in the top of the game at the time? Whereas I think we can name most of the top 20 Americans in the last 20 years. There's not that many, unfortunately. I don't know. It would be, maybe it is the case, but I'm just going to try it. We'll have to do some digging. We all know that Andy would have won more slams had the big three not been around. That's a fact. I'll tell you this, chat, maybe, and stick with me, maybe if the big three weren't around, Andy wins more slams and more people want to get into tennis because of Andy Roddick. So maybe not just because the big three were dominating, but maybe because the domination of the big three stopped Andy from winning more slams, who was the face of American tennis for the most, post Sampras and Agassi, right? He was American tennis, right? Maybe had he have won more because the big three weren't around, more people would have been like, I want to be like Andy Roddick and I want to play tennis and I want to get into this sport. But because he was stopped by them, that didn't happen. And people didn't watch tennis. People weren't getting into tennis as much because Andy wasn't as successful as he would have been had they not been around. Maybe. Again, I'm just saying, just speaking out loud. Thinking out loud here. 40 love. As a return goes into the forehand of Towson. Forehand from Osaka to the forehand of Towson. Towson hits a winner. 4-0. On the men's side. By the way, on the women's side, American tennis has been fine. Serena and now Coco and Keys and Pegula. I mean, women's tennis has always been fine in America. It's on the men's side of things that things have there's a drought, right? Oh, is it a storm delay? Is that what's happening on? I thought it was is it? No, the company's storm because they would have left the court. Our best athletes still aren't in tennis. Yeah, well, that's what I said earlier. You know, maybe it was because other sports got more popular and it became more lucrative to go play NBA or try your hand. Well, and also, chat, you have to be a certain height. You know, there is a height limit to tennis on the men's side. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's true. You know, if you're under 6 foot, it's going to be very hard to be successful in tennis. You have to be at least 6 foot tall. You know, in the modern game, and the most players are, you know, between, you know, whatever. The best players are between 6'2" and 6'6", right? Or 6'3", 6'6". 30 love. Oh, the line calling is broken. It's not rain. Oh, okay. I can't tell. It's dark and it's blurry. But no, okay. So the line calling is broken. That's what it is. The electronic. Oh, okay. The electronic line calling is a malfunctioning. That's what it is. Agassi was 5'10". Yeah, but Agassi doesn't play anymore. He hasn't played for 20 years. I'm saying nowadays. And Alcaraz is the exception. Like, everybody else is taller than Alcaraz. He's the shortest player in the top 10. Maybe Demonor, but I mean, Alcaraz is the exception. Look at everybody. Everybody else is taller than Alcaraz, and maybe you don't have to be. I mean, maybe everyone can be Alcaraz. But anyways, backhand in the net from Osaka, 40-15. But again, you know, I know people think it's because tennis is too expensive. Okay, maybe that's part of it. But also, if you're growing up, and I'm speaking from an Australian because this happens in Australia too, we are spoiled for choice when it comes to sport. We have so many different sports that you can go down, so many different avenues. You can go you can play. Most kids play multiple sports as a kid, and then they decide, you know, they pick and choose whichever one. Usually it's based on what your friends are doing. You know, if your friends are playing a sport, you're going to hang out with them. You go play that sport. You know, if your friends aren't playing tennis, then you're not going to be playing tennis, right? I mean, even when I think of me, like when I learned tennis, I played tennis at the place where my friends were playing, and I kept playing tennis there afterwards, but I originally was playing tennis because of where my friends were playing tennis. You know? Could well be a delay reaction to the big three making their impact as the children of the 2000s got streamed into tennis. They came out 20 years later. What do you mean? Tennis is among the most prestigious sports, so naturally it prices a lot of common people out of the sport. I mean, it's the reason why it's prestigious, I think, is the travel. I don't think it's because tennis. I mean, yeah, okay, tennis lessons are expensive. You know what? Like, you know, you can go down that, but I think it's more just like the traveling is expensive. Like traveling to tournaments, especially if you don't live in. Like, if you live in Europe, I think it's probably easier because there's more. You know, you don't have to travel as far. But I know as an Australian, traveling overseas to become. Yeah, you know, I mean, Demon had to leave. You know, at a young age, you know, to go do that. Barty retired, you know, for a while because she didn't, you know, she was away from home. Anyways, this is not about Australia. This is about America. American tennis. But yeah, and I've said this for years, that I think the best thing for tennis on the men's side is for American success. Because, like it or not, if you hate it or not, whatever, America, in a sporting world, except for football, soccer, the popularity of sports in America helped the sport. If it's popular in the US, then it's going to be more popular. Like, it's going to boost it massively. And especially on the men's side of tennis, because it hasn't had the market players, the big names, because of, all the reasons we're mentioning, maybe. But if American players are playing well, on the men's side as well, not just the women's side, because Serena's been holding it up for so long. On the men's side as well, then people are going to watch tennis more, because let's be real, a lot of people only watch the players, that are from their country. I mean, it happens in Australia too. People ask me, what is de Minaur doing? What's Kyrgios doing? They don't know who Ben Shelton is. They don't know who Taylor Fritz is. They don't care about them. Australians are following Australians like Americans would follow Americans, right? Love 30. So the popularity of tennis in America will only increase if there's good American players on the men's side and the women's side. And the women are doing a great job. And the men are starting to do a great job too. But America do drive the popularity of these sports, of our sport too, right? I mean, 15:30. Uh, 15:30. As we get a return now, goes out by Osaka. 30-all. Serve again. There's a fault, second serve. It's like the popularity of tennis in Italy is skyrocketing because of Sinner. Exactly. So American success on the men's side as well as the women's side will increase. The popularity of the sport, and the popularity of the sport tennis being popular again in America is a good thing for the sport. And it's also going to encourage younger kids to get into the sport, because they want to play like, this play. They want to play like that play, right? I mean, we're having the same thing in Australia with Leighton was our last champion. But now we've got a couple of players coming through with de Minaur and Popperin, right? The young players that are doing well. But we're having the same thing. I mean, probably the UK as well, right? Andy Murray single-handedly bringing back British tennis, and you got guys like Draper coming through. Obviously, Raducanu helping with winning a slam. As Osaka gets a return winner, we get the deuce. And then you look at all the players that are going to go, oh yeah, I started playing tennis because of Andy Murray, right? Or I started playing tennis I started playing tennis before I started watching Leighton, but I kept watching tennis and playing tennis because of Leighton Hewitt. This channel wouldn't exist if Leighton Hewitt wasn't around, So it's good that we're getting, at the end of the day, it's good that we're getting Shelton and Fritz, who are both top 10, playing each other in a big 1,000 tournament. This is huge for tennis, especially in the US. It's a huge deal. It just needs to be at a Grand Slam. So we need to have this match at the US Open in a couple weeks. All right, back to deuce. Osaka trying to get the match win here. Also, the guys are back on court. They're going to warm up again because they had a long delay. Backhand rally. As with a slice on the forehand of Osaka. Forehand now from Towers on the stretch. Goes wide. Osaka's back to deuce. Back to deuce. All right, serve again from Towson. As the return goes into the backhand. Oh, forehand of Towson. Towson puts it away. Advantage Towson. Serve again. As the return goes in the forehand of Towson. Forehand from Osaka. Again, the forehand of Towson. As Osaka forehand goes the backhand of Towson. The backhand of Osaka. Towson backhand. Nope. Osaka hit it wide. We're back on serve. It's 5-5. 5-all. 5-5. Seems like you gained some weight. Thanks for noticing. I appreciate that. I'm bulking. It's winter. When it gets over 10 degrees Celsius, that's when I start shredding. Good thing it's 25 these days. What's 25? What's 25? Scoreboard very lag. Yeah, but just, you'll get over it. It'll be fine. All right, 5-all. As the return goes into the backhand of Osaka. Forehand now from Towson. Again, the forehand of Osaka. But Osaka hits it out. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. There's a serve again from Osaka. And the forehand of Towson. To the backhand of Osaka. Forehand from Towson. Again to the forehand of Osaka. There's Towson slice on the stretch. Another forehand winner there from Osaka. 15-all. The reason why Shelton and Fritz is delayed is because of technical difficulties. It was tech difficulties from the electronic line calling was broken. So 15-all. As Osaka hits it out, 15-30. 15-30. What will tennis be like in 50 years? I don't know. I'll be dead. All right, 15-30. Is it a backhand out of the forehand of Towson? Forehand from Osaka again, the forehand of Towson. As Osaka forehand again to the forehand of Towson. Osaka forehand win across court. 30-all. 30-all. All right, Fritz and Shelton are about to start. I'm going to go Fritz in 3. Love 15. First point goes to Shelton. 40-30 Osaka. 40-30. As Osaka serves. As the return goes out by Towson. Osaka 6-5. Stays in front. All right. 15-all by the way. As we return now from Shelton to the forehand of Fritz. Fritz in the net. 15-30. 15-30. Chance for Shelton to break first game of the match. The backhand from Shelton into the forehand of Fritz. The backhand of Shelton. Fritz with the forehand again. The backhand of Shelton. With Fritz forehand. Into the backhand of Shelton again. The forehand of Fritz. Shelton backhand. Into that Fritz forehand. Is Shelton again with the backhand. Goes in the net though, and it's 30-all. By the way, Lego apparently is sponsoring the Toronto tournament. That's wild. Why won't they sponsor me? 30-all. I'll do the serve. Into the back of the whoops. Towson's sitting down. She's not doing nothing. 30-all as Shelton hits a forehand. Winner. Break point. 30-40. 30-40. Lego trophy. That'd be kind of sick. That'd be actually kind of awesome. All right, 30-40. Shelton. A chance for him to take the break starting strong. As a return, goes the forehand of Fritz. Backhand of Shelton. Into the forehand of Fritz. To the backhand of Shelton. It's Fritz forehand again. Into the backhand of Shelton. And Shelton in the net. We get the deuce. God, they really do pick on Shelton's backhand, don't they? He is... I mean, his backhand's not terrible, but they keep hitting it to his backhand. Like even Demonor was doing it the other night. Didn't work, but his backhand is like, that is the place that everyone's trying to attack. Ace from Fritz, advantage. All right, as Towson hits a lovely volley, and it's 30-love. All right, 30-love is with a forehand advantage for Fritz. Shelton goes into the backhand of Fritz. The forehand of Shelton. Shelton hits it out. And Fritz holds 1-love in this first set. Pardon me. All right. Towson backhand winner, 40-love. $40-love. As a forehand from Towson goes wide. And it's a 40-15. 40-15. As a return from Osaka in the net. All right, tie break. Who's winning this tie break? 6-6. 6-all. Towson gets to the breakup. Osaka serving first. By the way, if Shelton and Fritz don't play a tiebreak, something happened. As a return goes in the backhand of Osaka. Forehand now from Towson. And the forehand of Osaka is Towson backhand. The backhand of Osaka in the net. 1-love Towson. She gets the mini break first. Oh, Fruit Loops. I gotta go to the doctor tomorrow. Shit. When's the final? Anyone know the final for tomorrow? What time? Anybody? Hello? Somebody? When is the final tomorrow? What time? 7:30 for the men. What about the ladies? $5 p.m.? 6 p.m. Wait, when? 6 p.m. Local time, okay. 3 love, by the way, Towson. 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Time, I think. Is it? Okay, that's all right. That's fine. Everything's fine. All right, so the women's final's on an hour before the men's final. That's fine. So I got to get up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. All right, Osaka gets on the board. Three, 1, Towson. Fuck. What time is it where you are? It's 1 p.m. As that goes out from Towson. And it's 3-2. Towson with the break. Break point for Fritz, by the way. 30-40. Shelton serves again. 30-40. .30-40 as Shelton serves. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Serve into the corner. Fritz. Return goes out and it's deuce. All right, 4-2 Towson in this breaker. Shelton gets the deuce. As they're backing up from Shelton in the corner, Fritz. Shelton hits it out, and it's advantage Fritz. As that goes into the net from Osaka, 5-2 Towson. And Osaka's going to serve. She's only down 1 mini break, though, but she can't afford to lose any more points. He's going to backhand into the corner, Fritz. Backhand of Shelton. Again, the corner, Fritz. Shelton backhand again. Into the corner, Fritz. Shelton again with a backhand. Into the Fritz backhand. And Shelton goes down the line with a forehand. Fritz gets it back. Shelton backhand again. The corner, Fritz. Who hits a winner? No, he hits it long. The winner was there. He missed it. Deuce. All right, 5-3. Osaka wins the point. Towson 5-3. Osaka serves the fault. Second serve. As the return goes wide by Towson. 5-4. Towson's going to serve for the set. 5-4. Towson. Also Shelton with the advantage. As the return goes in the corner, Towson. Backhand now from Osaka. Goes wide. 6-4 Towson to take the second set. And to take us to a third. Also, Shelton holds 1-1. Six-4 Towson. She serves. A fault. Jeez, that was close. Hawkeye said no. Second serve. Double fault. Six, 5. We're back on serve. Six, 5. As Osaka serves. Still set point, though. As Townsend returned the net. 6-all. They change heads. 6-6. And now Osaka's going to try and get a match point. All right, 6-6. 2 set points saved by Osaka. Shelton, by the way, he's at love 30. Love 40, I mean. As that goes the net from Townsend, and Osaka gets a match point. 7-6 to take on Mboko in the final tomorrow. 7-6 Osaka. But it's on Townsend's serve. All right. Townsend serves. Into the form of Osaka. The form from Townsend, the form of Osaka. Osaka hits it out. We're at 7-0. Also still break point here for Shelton. As Fritz with the backhand. Into the form of Shelton. Shelton hits it out. 30-40. All right, 7-0. 7 to the form of Osaka. Return winner from Osaka. Okay. Now Osaka's going to serve with a match point. 8-7. Osaka to take her spot in the final. And to take on Mboko tomorrow, which is not going to be... She's not going to have any support. But that's all right. All right, 8-7. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the front of Townsend in the net. And Osaka is into the final. She's going to take on Mboko. And then Osaka will also get a performance bye, just like Mboko will in Cincy. So they won't have to play first rounds. As Shelton gets another break point advantage. But then Osaka wins the biggest final in her comeback. And her first 1,000 final, I think, since, I want to say Miami 2022. So in over 3 years, the first time she's made it to a big 1,000 final in a long time. And now she's going to take on the young, up-and-coming player. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a good final. Going to be a fun final. Unseeded winner as well. So let's see which one of the two is going to get the win. And Mboko is coming in with a bit of an injury, so we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. But great for Osaka. Great win for Osaka. Yeah, Vitrovsky, he deserves a... I mean, if he's not going to work together after this, it's crazy. They got to work together after this. That'd be crazy. All right. GG's. Fritz with the advantage, by the way. We're going to merge the streams in a second, but great win for Osaka. Right, advantage Fritz. And the return goes to forehand of Fritz. Lob goes up from Shelton. It goes out though. 2-1. Fritz holds in this first set. 17 minutes for 3 games. All right. If you want to keep watching the Fritz Shelton match, jump on over. We're going to merge the streams just to make it easier for us all. But Naomi Osaka, she's in the final. She'll take on Mboko tomorrow in the final of Montreal. And yeah, she's going to be playing the biggest final since 2022 in her career. So big chance to win a big trophy for the first time since, I think, 21, where she won the Australian Open. I think that was the last time she won a massive trophy. But she takes that 1,000, and she's going to play on Boca tomorrow. All right. Now let's find out who's going to play in the men's final. Is Shelton number 6 seed? I think he is, right? 4 seed. My bad. Okay. Osaka Mboko, the final. All right. Osaka looked more relieved with that one, yeah. I mean, she almost had to go 3, so I think the relief came from not having to play the extra set. All right. 2-1 as Fritz in the net. By the way, Fritz was down love 40 in that last game, so huge fight back. 15 love. How did Osaka save a match point? She didn't. Save set points. All right, 15 love. Shelton serves. Return goes out. 30 love. 30 love. $30 love. As return goes a forehand of Shelton. Forehand now from Shelton to the backhand of Fritz. Fritz hits it out. And it's 40 love. Ah, 40 love. All right, 2-0. Shelton serves and levels. All right. 2-0. As we're back into the slice of Shelton. Backing out from Fritz. Into the backhand of Shelton. As Fritz forehand. Again, the backhand of Shelton. Fritz with the forehand again. Shelton backhand goes long, and it's 15 love. By the way, winner of this plays Hashanov in the final tomorrow. All right. 30-15. As that goes the net from Fritz, 30-0. I'll tell you what, Fritz is definitely struggling a lot more on serve so far. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. All right, that goes out by Shelton, 40-30. 40-30. As Fritz holds 3-2 in the first set. 24 minutes, by the way, long ass set. Very, very, very long start to this match. All right. I saw Fritz shake his arm out earlier. Oh, is he hurt? I haven't seen it. We will see if anything comes of that. By the way, both these guys did play yesterday. So... Cool. All right. Here we go. Back to Shelton. 3-2. Fritz with the break. Sorry, with the lead. No break yet. Here we go. 26 minutes played. I mean, we were distracted by the other match, but this is taking forever. This is slow. This is a slow... I didn't think this would be this slow. I thought this match would be a lot quicker, but a couple of long games, and here we are. 3-2. As a return from Fritz goes into the corner, Shelton. Shelton hits it out, love 15. Yeah, Fritz and Rublev were done. The first set was over in 30 minutes. It's just because they played a couple of long service games in the first two games. You played, 2 10-minute service games, and here we are. As a return goes into the forehand of Shelton, but it's out by Fritz. 15-all. As the return goes into the forehand of Shelton. Backhand for Fritz to the forehand of Shelton. Fritz forehand on the stretch. Shelton comes in with a smash, but it's not good enough. But the second one is. (30-15). As Shelton gets to 40-15. All right, Shelton too good, 3-3. 3-all. Back to Fritz. As the lob goes up, smash from Fritz is good. And it's 15-love. As the return goes the forehand of Fritz. Slice from Shelton goes in the net. 30-love. Osaka is back, yeah. She is back. As the return goes in, the back end of Fritz. Shelton on the stretch. Hits it wide. 40-love. (40-love). As the return goes back into Fritz. Forehand Shelton goes wide. It's 4-3. Fritz holds. Ah, 4-3. Performance by activated for Osaka and Boko, yeah. So that means Noskova versus Osaka, second round, and Mboka will take on Schneider without having to play first round, which is why it was invented. I don't know if 2 performance buys have been given out to 2 players in the same. I don't know if that's. I mean, at a tournament this big, very rare. Very rare. Now, the draw doesn't change. It stays the same. Had they have lost, they would have had to play lucky losers. So, the only difference is that lucky losers don't get a shot. That is the only change. All right. Fritz on the stretch with a forehand to the forehand of Shelton, and Shelton. It's a winner, 15-love. By the way, Osaka and Mboka are both fighting to be seeded at the US Open as well. So, Shelton 30-15. As a default, second serve. All right, 40-15. As that goes out by Shelton, 40-30. So Osaka is currently ranked number 24. So she's already going to be seeded. No matter what happens, Osaka is seeded. Boko, she is 34 in the world, so she's on that like bubble when it comes to being seeded. Now, of course, if she stays at 34 after Cincinnati and 2 players pull out, she'll be number 32 seed. So she's in a good position to be seeded. But if she does lose in Cincinnati and the players behind her, because she's number 34, but she's only just ahead of a lot of players like Raducanu, Stearns, Kudermetova, Lynette, players that are more than capable of doing well at these 1,000 events. Pavlyuchenkova. So she'll probably need to either win tomorrow, which will well and truly get her seeded, or play well in Cincy, at least make this, win a couple of matches in Cincinnati. But Osaka should be seeded at the US Open. 24 in the world. I don't think she'll drop down. And if she wins a title, she'll be number 21 in the world, which will definitely be seeded. So I think Osaka is pretty much locked in as a seed. It'd be very unlucky. I don't think it's possible. I think it's impossible for her not to be seeded. 24 is like right in the middle. Right. That's right in that sweet spot. If she was 30 in the world, yeah, maybe she misses. But for 24, she should be fine. She should be totally fine. 15-0. But Boko is trying to get seeded. So tomorrow's match and next week is very important for her. Her chances of getting seeded. As that goes the net from Fritz, 15-30. All right. The return goes to the forehand of Fritz. And the forehand from Fritz goes to the backhand of Shelton. Into the Fritz backhand. Shelton forehand into the Fritz backhand again. Shelton goes down the line. Fritz on the stretch. Goes long, and it's 15-40. Break points. Why are these guys not playing every other day versus back-to-back when it's only Wednesday and not playing Thursday for semis and Friday tournaments? I don't know. Paul, you're going to have to call Canada and ask. I don't know why they did the schedule this way, but they just have, all right? So it is what it is. As the return goes backhand of Fritz, forehand from Shelton to the backhand of Fritz. Shelton forehand again into the forehand of Fritz on the stretch. He can't get it. Fritz is broken, which hasn't happened much this week. Shelton's going to serve for the first set. Fritz doesn't have that punch he had yesterday. He doesn't have that, that pop to his serve or anything. By the way, it was 27 minutes for 3-2. Now it's 5-4, 10 minutes later. Pace has definitely picked up. But yeah, Fritz just doesn't have that. And again, he's tired, maybe he's hurt, sore from yesterday, but he just doesn't have that power that he had yesterday. Just seems to be lacking the aggression in the serving of yesterday. All right, but Shelton's going to serve the set. Shelton will serve for the set. All right. Both Americans have been playing well, especially during clutch moments, yeah. Okay. Shelton serving for the set. As he serves a fault, second serve. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Shelton. Forehand now from Fritz again, the forehand of Shelton. Shelton hits a wide. Love 15. By the way, Joe, I got to think of what am I going to have for lunch? I need some ideas. Give me some ideas. What should I have for lunch, chat? Give me some ideas. Lunch. I need some lunch ideas. First serve is a fault, second serve. As with a backhand to the forehand of Shelton, he hits a drop shot from Shelton's good. Fritz gets it back, then Shelton with a slice, cross-court winner. 15-0. Good hustle from Fritz. KFC, nah. Egg salad. That sounds interesting. How cold is it where you are? It's pretty chilly. Chinese noodles. Okay. There's no Chick-fil-A here. I've already had eggs for breakfast, so I don't want to have eggs for lunch. Pork barbecue with mac and cheese. That sounds like a lot of effort, but good. That sounds good, though. Tuna fish. Okay, get some soup. All right. 30-15. Sloppy Joe. Are you single by any chance? Who's asking? Because, yes, I'm married. Something you can share with Mia. You want me to get something that I can share with my dog? That's limited options. My dog can't eat that much. Not that much human food. As we get a forehand winner from Fritz, 30-0. BLT. Okay. I don't have any of the ingredients for that, but I have bread. 30-0. Ooh. Goodbye. 30-0. As the lob goes up and out by Fritz, 40-30. Mods, we got to start locking down. I don't know what's going on. How that person got through. 40-30. Pineapple pizza. How dare you? Good body serve. Return goes in. Shelton puts it away. 6-4 first set. 6-4. Try to cover all tennis matches. I wait for your video. Far out, mate. I mean, first of all, no. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I can't cover all matches because, one, I'm too tired. And two, it's impossible. This time of year, we take a step back and watch less because there's less to watch. That's what we do this time of year. But if you want to request a match, it's $1,000 to request one match. If you want to really, really want me to watch one match that I'm not going to watch, $1,000 for requests. That's the general admission. Fritz having a better serve and Shelton a better return. Fritz's serve is not as good as it was. In that, like, he's not serving as well as yesterday. Back-to-back playing could cause burnout or injury. Yeah, but they're used to playing back-to-back. That's just normal. Tennis is always every day. Is Shelton the best chance winning a Masters? Of course this is. I mean, look who's not in the way, right? Who's not here? And it's his best chance for sure. No Sinner, no Alcaraz, no Djokovic. I mean, that gives Shelton a nice... I mean, you got to beat Fritz, who he's already beating, and then beat Hashanov, who I'm sure he'd like his chances. So for sure, this is his best chance right now. Canada's always an opportunity for these guys. At young age, these things didn't happen after 32, 33. I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about? You mean playing tennis after 32? Who stands better chance of winning the final, Ben or Taylor? I think they both got a good chance. Probably Taylor. Ben, because of what we're watching tonight. He looks a lot fresher than Fritz does. And if Fritz has to play tomorrow as well, he's probably not going to feel any better because he's going to have to play really long match tonight too. All right. Fritz serving first in the second. First serves a fault, second serve. By the way, chat, everybody, grilled cheese is a great suggestion. But we all ran out of ideas, did we? What should I have for lunch? Any more suggestions? Vietnamese food? Like what? That's a broad cuisine. Burrito. Ooh, actually not a bad idea. 15-0. Meatball sub. Ooh. Ooh, it's actually a nice day for a meatball sub. 30-15. That actually might... Dutchie might have... You might have won the lunch order. Actually a great idea. It's kind of like right now, it's like a little bit chilly. It's not cold, but it's like chilly. And I feel like a warm meatball sub would be perfect in these conditions. And delicious. Actually a great idea. That might be the winner. It's like the perfect temperature for a warm meatball sub. When you mentioned a McGriddle the other day, I had to go get one. What'd you think? Did you like it? As it a point now from Shelton. Fritz puts a winner down the line. It's 1-0 in the second. Yeah, I'm gonna get a meatball sub for lunch. That's what I'm getting. Great suggestion. Butter chicken with a side of jalapenos. No, that's too hot. That's if it's like frosty snow. I don't want that now. I just need something a little warm. I had a meatball sub today before my appointment. Nice. It was good. Yeah, McGriddle is great. I had a McGriddle the other week for the second one. It was all right. I think it depends how it's made, but I can't have I have to have a McGriddle once a month. I can't have them. If I had them every day, you get sick of them so quickly. I think once when you can remember, they're great, but you just gotta pace yourself on them. Otherwise, I could easily get sick of them, especially if the pancake's dry. Like if the hot cake is dry, it tastes shit. I think you got to have a nice. It all comes down to the. You got to have a good pancake, because if that's dry, then the whole meal tastes terrible. You just need water, you know. Love 15. As it a fawn from Fritz. It goes long. 15-0. How many of you guys here love to cycle on a daily basis? Yeah, I'm anti-bicycle rider. I'm anti-cycle. Just because in Melbourne, they think they own the road. So I'm anti-cycle. I'm pro-fitness, chat. I'm pro-fitness. I'm pro-health and fitness. And exercise, pro-exercise. But I'm anti-cycle. So you can be riding a bike in normal clothes and that's fine. But as soon as you chuck on that spandex and you start wearing those tight outfits and you're wearing those bloody spandex Lance Armstrong cosplay outfits with your beer gut and you're swerving all over the road like you're a car, that's when I'm anti-cycle. So that's it. That's where I draw the line. As soon as you start wearing those lycra bodysuits, get off the road. You're not a car. But I am pro fitness, so if you do it if you cycle at the gym and you're on the machine, that's okay. It's all good. Or if you just you're just riding bikes around, that's fine. But as soon as you put on that outfit, and you pretend like you're a car, that's when we got a problem. 40-15. As soon as you start pretending you're a car, then if you're on the road, we got rules on the road. We do have bike paths, but they're not people don't use them. Anyways, 1-1. I'm anti street cycling too. Yeah. Once you chuck on the lycra, you come out here pretending like you're playing your Tour de Francing. You better not get close to my car. You better watch out. You better get off to the side of the road. You move, because there ain't not enough room for the two of us. As that goes out from Shelton, 15-love. They hog the road in Indy. Like, move over already, yeah. But I just want to make sure that we're clear. I'm pro fitness and pro exercise. I am very much for the health and safety and fitness of individuals. You do you. If you like to ride a bike and you're doing it because you want to be fit, and you want to get healthy, that's great. But if you put on that damn outfit, you chuck on that Lance Armstrong cosplay, then we have a problem. That's when that's it. You chuck that on, and it's road wars. 15-0. As that goes in there from Fritz, 15-30. Just wear bike shorts like the rest of us. Just wear gym outfits. You don't have to go the full yard, all right? We don't need to see that. I don't need to see that, all right? We don't need to see that. Modesty. Just a little bit of modesty on those damn bikes. Hey, Steph, thanks for the 24 months. 15-30. As Fritz comes to the net, up goes a lob by Shelton. Smash from Fritz is a winner. 30-all. I'm the opposite. I'm all for getting rid of cars and trucks on the road. That's what they were made for, though. What are you going to... What, have you invented a time machine or like a teleporting machine? Like, what are you talking about? 40-30. Get rid of cars and trucks on the road. What, and people walk on the road now? What planet are you on? Wild backwards world. The hell? Then who uses the sidewalk? What, the sidewalk is just left for nobody? Crazy. You're living in a crazy town. You live in a crazy town. What are you talking about? Crazy. That's crazy. You're crazy. 2-1. I live in a crazy town over here. The hell? Am I able to send you $100? No. Sorry, your money is no good here. I'm all for shared roads, but as an aside, roads were first paved for the sake of bicycles. It's a bit odd history, but true. I thought the roads were paved for horses. Also, I'm not a historian, but I thought horses, carriages, horse and cart. I don't think they were for bikes, unless. But I'm not. I don't know. Anyways, it's 2-1 Fritz. Horses were fine in mud, cycles not so much. Okay. But they also made them to the side of the road so then the people on the bikes didn't get run over by the horses. Right? I'm sure they didn't put the bike lanes in the middle of the street. But you tell that to the people wearing the Lycra. Okay. Here we go. Shelton to serve. Two on Fritz. Dude doesn't know how to... What? What are you talking about, Royale? Talking some random... What are you talking about? Ah, love 15. Don't nuke me? No, I'm not nuking anybody. Talk pop music. Nah. 15 all. Horse maintenance is expensive. True story. Oh, really? Okay. 15 all. As the return goes a forehand of Shelton. Fritz backhand. And Shelton hits a lovely forehand down the line for a win up. And it's 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. Is an ace, 40-15. $40-15. $40-15. As the return goes to net, it's 2-0. Does the GIF sticker money go to Cam or YouTube? Look, it's okay. You don't have to donate. If you want to donate, you can donate. There's a link. But again, you don't have to, but there. If you want to donate, there's a link. I appreciate it, though. You don't have to do it. But click that link if you want to donate. But also, like, you don't have to and don't feel obliged at all. And that goes for all of you. Just keep it to yourself. Buy yourself something nice, like a hat or something. Buy yourself dinner. Take yourself out for a dinner or something. Spend your money on yourself. Don't spend on me. Double fault. Love 15. As a default, second serve. Second serve. As a return goes forehand to Fritz. Shelton backhand into the backhand of Fritz. And Shelton again to the backhand of Fritz. And Shelton backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. And Fritz hit it long. Love 30. Love 30. Love 30. We got a fault second serve. As the backhand goes into the backhand of Fritz. Forehand from Shelton. Into the forehand of Fritz on the stretch. Shelton backhand. Into the forehand of Fritz again. Shelton backhand again. It's Fritz. Again to the Shelton backhand. Fritz again with the forehand on the stretch. Shelton in control. Drop shot. Fritz gets it. Shelton pass. It's too good. Love 40. Gosh, Shelton wants a 1,000 title. Ben Shelton, by the way, Chad, is so good for tennis. He is so good for tennis. And him doing well is a great thing for the sport. And as much as people are like, I don't like Shelton because he makes noise. I'm sorry, but do you hate fun? Because I love fun. I think fun is fun, and it's great. Love 40. As the return goes into the forehand of Shelton. And then, so the backhand of Shelton goes in, and Fritz puts it away. One save, 15-40. 15-40. Winner of this place, Hashnell, by the way. Serve again. Serve is a fault second serve. Serve to the forehand of Shelton. Into the forehand of Fritz. Shelton back. Forehand again to the backhand of Fritz. Into the forehand of Shelton on the stretch. Fritz forehand cross. Shelton gets it back. Into the forehand of Fritz. Again the backhand of Shelton. Fritz backhand on the stretch. Shelton with a drop shot. Fritz gets it. Shelton pass. Is a lob. And it goes in! All right. Shelton is just putting on a show. 3-2 in the second. By the way, let me check. How close is Shelton to being number one American if he wins this? If Shelton wins this trophy, he will be 1,000 points behind Fritz. But remember, Fritz has got the US Open to defend, or the final to defend. So, and Shelton only made the third round. So there is a big possibility if Shelton does win this title and play well in the US Open and Fritz doesn't play well. Also, don't forget Cincinnati, but, you know, Shelton could be the number one American by the end of the US Open. He could be the best American, like number 5 in the world by the end of this week, end of this US Open swing. He's going for that. He definitely could have that. All right. Shelton with a set and a break. He is up a set and a break. By the way, this is the first semi-final of a 1,000 for Shelton as well. It's his first semi-final of a 1,000. Shelton serves a fault. Second serve. Chat, I wonder what which 1,000 has the most first-time 1,000 champions? What? Because Canada seems to be like that a little bit. But which 1,000 event has the most first-time, like who? Which Paris indoors? Yeah, that also comes to mind because that does have a bunch of random champions at times. Is it Paris? It's probably Paris. At least recently, right? Because Paris always seems to have a lot of different, a lot of new champions, right? But yeah, I wonder which one would be the the one that has the most, like, which one is the 1,000 that players win the first one? The first time they win a 1,000, which one has the most? I don't even know what I'm saying. What am I trying to say? What are the words? English words. What are the words? Which 1,000 title is... I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, right? It's 40-15. I don't think Monte Carlo. I don't think it's the clay ones. I think the clay titles, not many players win the first 1,000 at a clay event. It doesn't seem like. Or their first one, yeah. Paris definitely is in the mix. Canada, what about Indian Wells? Does Indian Wells hasn't been dominated? Really? And it's the first 1,000 of the year for the men, so it's like, well, what about Indian Wells? I don't feel like Indian Wells has been like, it wasn't dominated by anyone, was it? Maybe Indian Wells? Shanghai? No, I think Shanghai's kind of been dominated by Djokovic, so I don't think Shanghai. Yeah, Team won his first in Indian Wells. Fritz as well. I mean, yeah, it would be interesting. Delpo, yeah. It would be interesting to know which 1,000 event. Again, I don't know what the words are that I'm trying to say, but you know what I'm saying. Which of the 1,000 events is the one that has the most first-time champions? That kind of sounded a little bit more cohesive. Which 1,000 event has... Which of the 1,000 events is... Fuck, I don't know. Anyways, 15 love. As the return goes into the forehand of Fritz. Back in now from Shelton. Fritz forehand again. The back of Shelton. Fritz with the volley. Shelton gets with the pass. Fritz volleys. But it goes long. Too much power from Shelton. $15-all. Which 1,000 has the most first-time 1,000 level winners? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. 15-all. Which 1,000 event is the most first-time champions at 1,000 level? That's a lot of words. 15:30. All right. Serve again. Into the forehand of the backhand of Shelton. Backhand for Fritz. Into the forehand of Shelton. As Fritz slice. Into the slice of Shelton. To drop shot. Fritz gets it. Shelton slice backhand goes long. 30-all. Which 1,000 tournament is won the most by first-time winners? At 1,000 level. Yes. Which event is whatever. That's been a fault. Second serve. As 40-30, Shelton hit it out in the return. Stop spamming. You know who you are. You can stop spamming right now. Don't stop doing it. Stop writing the message all the time. Stop writing it over and over again. That's spamming, and we don't want that in the chat. Stop it. Stop it. Fritz holds 4-3. 4-3, Shelton with the set and a break. Winner plays Hashanov tomorrow in the final. Crashing out? I don't think you know what that means. Define crashing out. Define crashing out. Ben's lights out tonight. Yeah, Shelton's playing amazing. Fritz does look slow. ChatGPT says it's Canada that produces the most first-time 1,000 winners. That's what I'm trying to say. Which 1,000 event produces the most first-time 1,000 champions? That's the words. We did it. Yeah. Woo. By the way, it's midnight. Which 1,000 event produces the most first-time 1,000 champions? We got there in the end, chat. We did it. We said the words. They made sense. Thank you for all those who participated. By the way, Hang, thank you for the $50 super sticker. I told you not to do it, and you did it anyway, and I appreciate that, but thank you. You shouldn't have done that, but thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $50 super sticker, which is very, very generous. Thank you for that. AI says it's Monte Carlo. Well, look, let's be honest. ChatGPT and AI are both just guessing at this point. All right, 4-3. Shelton with the center break. As with a forehand now from Shelton to the backhand of Fritz. Into the forehand of Shelton. Fritz backhand into the backhand of Shelton. Getting the backhand of Fritz. Fritz in the net. 15 love. My gut says Rome. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Paris indoors. Because it does, I mean, at least recently. At least the recently times. Google says Miami. Well, that's wrong. Hamburg? Oh, maybe. Actually, Miami might not be wrong. Oh, because Djokovic won Miami first, right? 40 love. Maybe it's a combination. Maybe it's not just one. Maybe it's like multiple have. By the way, people, are you just writing random things in the chat, or are you actually doing the research? 40 love with a let. Are we just guessing at this point? It might be a tie between 6 tournaments. Imagine that. 40 love. And with a fault, second serve. Second serve.
Thanks for all of your coverage. I can count you.
No worries. Thank you, Miss, for the $2. Appreciate it. All right, Shelton holds for a 5-3. He is one game away from the final of a 1,000 event for the first time ever. As of August 2025, the Paris that's you just copy paste that off ChatGPT or internet. Is that might not be right though, because the most different winners. That's not what the question was though. The question wasn't what tournament has the most different winners. It was what 1,000 event produces the most first time 1,000 winners, not the most different. Most different. That sounds totally fine. Yeah, it's got to be the most first time winners, not just like random winners. So you got to be more selective. Because yeah, Paris does seem to have the most like it has a lot of different winners, but it doesn't have a lot of those players already won somewhere else before Paris. That's yeah. Maybe it is Paris. Because I can think like in recent times for sure, Paris has had a lot. It's a word salad. That's it. Delicious. 15-all. As Fritz hits it out. 15-30. The Italian Open has historically produced the most first-time champions than any other tournament this year. Really? The Italian Rome. You think it's a Rome? Really? It seems a little strange. And it's 15-30 as Fritz in the net. 15-40. Match points, Shelton. Match points for Shelton to take his spot in the final tomorrow against Karin Khachanov. All right, 15-40. Serving the back of Shelton. Return goes to the backhand of Fritz. Shelton with a slice. Goes long. 30-40. $11 first-time Masters winners in Rome, 10 in Miami. Okay. What about Hamburg? As we serve in the net, second serve. Because didn't Federer win Hamburg first? I feel like Hamburg is lost. Double fault Fritz. That's how it ends. Shelton gets the win. He's into the final. Fritz, I think, just annihilated his racket as well. Fritz, that was a bad way to end. And he had that was a poor match. That was not him. That was not Taylor Fritz we knew yesterday. He was either tired or stressed or both or neither or I don't know. That was not the guy that we saw yesterday play Rublev. But now Fritz can go play Cincinnati, which I think he has a legitimate chance of winning that. I mean, he's played a hell of a couple of weeks. You know, Wimbledon here, before Wimbledon. But Shelton gets the final. He plays Khachanov in the final tomorrow. By the way, guy who says this match he tanked, investigate the match. How much money did you lose? And also, you should probably stop. You should probably stop. This is the moment. We all actually came here for you. So just take a seat and look, we're all worried about you. We're all worried. We think you should delete the app. Delete the app, put it down, and just enjoy the sport for what it is. You don't need to bet on it. It's okay. Just delete the apps, and just put the money into just buy yourself something pretty. Buy yourself a pretty hat or something. Don't need to do this. Somebody give that guy a hug. Hamburg and Madrid were 9. Okay, fair enough. Karin has no chance tomorrow. Ooh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting final. I don't think anyone predicted that the final tomorrow. Men and women's final is going to be fun. Ben has a chance to be ranked higher than Djokovic. That's wild. That is wild. Ben is going to win a hardcourt slam soon. He's going to win a slam. I don't even know. It might be Wimbledon. Maybe any of them. The problem with winning a hardcourt slam is you got to beat Sinner. All right, see you later, Steph. Yeah, Hamburg used to be a 1,000 event back in the day. Before they invented Shanghai. If there was no betting, prize money would decrease? How? I don't think there's any betting. I don't think the betting is part of the prize money. I don't think there's any betting sponsors. Canada has 13 different champions. You're right. I feel like we don't know the answer because we keep changing the answer. Was it Rome? Is it Madrid? What? Is it Canada? Shelton going to hang up the phone on Djokovic soon. We need a rematch. We need that rematch. It's been 2 years. Yeah, I think Shelton wins tomorrow. Is everybody kicking himself after the loss? He lost. His nemesis lost. I know, right? Congrats to Ben. Always feel bad when two Americans have to play each other. Well, it happens more, and the more it happens, it means the better the American tennis is. Shelton will be picked to win for sure. Yeah, Shelton will be the favorite, I think. Now, Shelton's never won a 1,000. He's never even been to the final. This is the first final of a 1,000. What a crazy tournament this one. Yep. It's what happens when some of the best players don't play. It opens it up for everybody. You know? If Sinner and Alcaraz were here, maybe it would be a different story. But because they're not, the opportunity is there. And just like February and March, when everybody seemed to fall apart when Sinner was gone, some players stepped up. And Draper stepped up at that time. Menchik stepped up at that time. And now Shelton's stepping up in the absence of Sinner and Alcaraz again. You know? Good argument for Shelton to be number one American man. I think this definitely helps. Beating the best American when you're so close to being the best American yourself, it definitely, like I said this during the match. The next, after the US Open, Shelton could be the best American by ranking. He could be number one American, for sure. Like he's already very close to Fritz, but Fritz has points to lose in New York, and if Shelton can win the next couple of tournaments, win some matches, then by the time we get to like September, by the time we get to the Laver Cup, Shelton could be the best player outside of Europe, which is very interesting to say it that way. It's a very interesting way to say it, but it's true because Team World is everyone outside of Europe, right? And right now, Fritz is the best player outside of Europe, but Shelton is right there with him. Especially by beating Fritz. I mean, that adds to it, you know? What's up with Fritz? I don't know. Fritz, somebody said he had an arm problem today. He definitely looked like, he didn't look the same as he did yesterday. Yesterday, he looked a lot more aggressive and he looked like he was a lot more motivated yesterday. I don't know what happened. Something happened or something, he didn't seem locked in. Which is strange because Fritz is usually pretty locked in. So there must have been something going on. Maybe he had something, maybe some soreness from yesterday or something going on. But yeah. Maybe there was something lingering from yesterday. Shelton should have been in the Six King Slam. Well, if Draper doesn't play, Shelton might be the guy who gets called up. Because the Six King Slam has got Draper in it, right? And he's injured. So, yeah, maybe he comes in for Draper if Draper is unable to be there. You know what I mean? I saw the poster for it. Where the hell is it? Where is the poster? Yeah. So it's what in the AI is this? Is that Fritz? I don't look like Fritz at all. What the hell? So yeah, so it's Fritz, Zverev, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner, and Draper. Kind of wild that they didn't put Sinner in the front row. They put him in the second row behind Djokovic. Kind of weird, but I guess. I guess it depends on who won the slams. most slams in the front. But yeah, I think if Draper pulled out, they'd put Shelton would be a great player to put in there. You know, I think he would make a great addition to that tournament. I mean, exhibition, he's got an exciting game, you know. Hey, Hing, thank you. Hey, Hang, I'm butchering your name every time. Thank you for the $50 super sticker again. Again, you don't need to do that, but I appreciate it. So thank you for the super sticker. Again, 2 super stickers in one day. Why is Fritz number 4? Because he is. Why are you acting like he just lost to some random player that nobody knows? What do you mean? He lost to the number 7 in the world? Number 8 in the world? Yeah. How could Fritz be number 4? He just lost to number 8. Oh. How bad? What are you talking about? Come on. He beat Rublev yesterday, who's like number 10. By the way, I saw a really bad stat, and bad because I'm Australian. Apparently, De Minaur, as a top 10 player, has never beaten a top 10 player. And I hate that. I hate that he's not been able to beat a top 10 guy as a top 10 guy. So hopefully that changes. Fonseca and Ben, Team World, please. Let's go. I mean, I think they're already on the team, aren't they? I think the Laver Cup has both of them on the team. Yeah, it's Fritz, Shelton, Paul, Fonseca. And then Alcaraz, Zverev, Rune, Ruud. Who else do we need for Team World? I feel like we need an Aussie, so De Minaur will get the call. I'm sure Demon will get the call. De Minaur and... trying to think. Who is someone from, like... Is there any really good players from, like, South America besides Fonseca? I mean, Tiafoe's there as well. Poprin's 19 in the world. The hell? Cerundolo, Fran might get the call. Does Bublik play for Europe or does he play for World? Does Kazakhstan count as Team World? Because it's in Asia, right? So Kazakhstan, we could get Bublik. Wait. Kazakhstan is in Asia, right? Kazakhstan is in Asia, so we get Bublik, right? We have to get Bublik. Yeah, it's in Central Asia. So hands off. It says Europe/Asia. No, hands off. It's Asia, and that's the world. It's not both. It's Asia. Too bad. You got enough players. We need Bublik. Bublik, and then the Demon. That's what we need. We need Bublik. Get Bublik on Team World. Hell yeah. Demon or Bublik. Let's go. Let's go. And then on Team Europe, I don't know. They just get... they'll probably get like Tsitsipas or Medvedev. No, Medvedev won't play. I don't know. They don't need anybody. They just need the 4 players. I mean, Draper, Djokovic won't play. Runa is already playing. Musetti, maybe? Maybe Musetti gets a call. Maybe Musetti. I'd love to see Menchik. Get Menchik in there. Or no, you know what? Arthur Feast might get the call. I reckon Feast, because Yannick Noah, he'll call Feast and he'll say, you know what? We need Arthur Feast. Feast will come in and maybe Rublev. Rublev and Feast. And then we'll take Bublik and De Minaur. And Team World will win. Sinner doesn't play Laver Cup, not sure why. Just because it's probably just not in his schedule. Darren.
Kamsai I put bets on Rybakina, Shelton and Fritz. The jinx is real.
Darren, you are the curse. But that's, we say that with love. Thank you for the donation. Okay. Well, that's it. And that's that. I'm going to go and eat. And get ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're at the finals. We have the finals. Tomorrow, finals are a thing. By the way, this is about the latest finish we've had all year. All week, sorry. They passed midnight. Crazy. But I'll see you tomorrow for the finales of Canada. And also Cincinnati starts tomorrow, but we're not going to watch it because, yeah. But we will be watching Cincinnati next week. Obviously, it's a 1,000. We watch those. So make sure you join us for that. But tomorrow, Osaka versus Mboko. Shelton versus Hashanov. We're watching both the finals tomorrow. They're not at the same time, but they might overlap. So just keep that in mind. So I'll see you then. Shelton wins. He beats Fritz 6-4, 6-3. He's in the final tomorrow.